on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. Best place to grab all that last minute info you need to make informed betting decisions. We look at all kinds of things, cash flow splits, how the line is reacting to the money coming in. We look at trends, angles, injury reports. We leverage the best chat in the business. We've all been working on this card all day. It's time to make the bookies pay for that opportunity. Excited to be here with you guys. Fired off a decent game last night. We had ourselves a little evening out there. Bear with me for 1 second. I hope this doesn't screw up. I think what I need is a bigger desk. I might have said that before. But there's a lot of good things happening around the clubhouse here. And we are getting ready for another big week of action. Big baseball day yesterday. I tweeted it out there on the Sports Money Wins account. The member plays were on fire. I think we're 3-1 now in RBI action as well. I had a parlay going. I had a 6-leg RBI parlay. The last leg I needed to cash. It was like 65-1. Shohei Ohtani couldn't get there for me. And that's the last time I will take chalk like that in a now I had some other guys in there, but they were still priced around plus 145. So shame it didn't work out that way. Excuse me. Two big bombs that, well, not big bombs, but two plays that just missed for us. They were simultaneous misses. The Houston Astros game under 8 finishes 7-2. And the Los Angeles St. Louis Cardinals game finishes 5-4. They both went over at the same time. It was like a dagger. Like, hey, we're having a great night. And then those two kind of came through and slapped us in the face. But Minnesota Wild did not come through. It was a 3-2 final. The Clippers busted them boys up 96-87. That was good money. Vladdy Guerrero gets a nice RBI at plus 150. We had the over, 239.5 in that Bulls game. 239.5, no problemo. They got to 262. Easy casher there. The over in the Calgary Flames game. I was hoping for a 2-0 start from the Flames. Doesn't matter. Everybody lost that game, unless you were on Calgary. All those minus 1.5s and minus 115s. Shame, shame, shame. The Detroit Tigers easily cashed for us 9-6 in Major League Baseball. We roll on. And what else we got? Dallas covers that reg. I wasn't so confident in Dallas, but they got the job done 3-1. A lot of overs there, did not get through. Kyle Tucker. I'm a sucker for Tucker, as you guys know if you've been following me on the Sharpie show. I love Kyle Tucker. I don't care if he's in the Cubs uniform. He's still a guy that goes out there and fires. He gets 3 RBIs last night. And Tyler Glasnow, over 6.5 Ks, ends at an 8 spot. Shout out to 9 Legacy. Wants a quick 3 or 4 leg MLB parlay paid in full. Just a quick one? That's all you want? They don't typically go with the fan request off the cuff like this, but I'm happy to give you guys my thoughts on that. How about the Marlins game under 8? How about Tampa Bay? Take the Rays in there, of course. Let's see, what else? I like the Padres again. It's a little juicy. It's coming down a little bit, but I'll take the Padres again in there. And then wrap it up with the Cubs. Why not? Take the Cubs in there to finish it off. There's your 4-legger. I'll have to go back and listen to that now. Let's see what happens. Going to be a lot of fun. What do we got going on in the world of sports money? Well, we're getting started for the weekend already. The UFC playbook has been updated. We're going to start making some plays in there here in the next day and a half. First strike will come out tomorrow. The VB MMA show, a little technical difficulty there earlier, but it is up on the channel, so you can check out 45 minutes of 3 early fights to try to help you guys beat the line movement. We got some videos coming out this evening. We'll have the Sub Club back in play for some action this week. We will have soccer fans getting their appetite satiated. We've got some golf. MMA Jeff coming back off of a heater. Big 33-1 winner. And you know what we're going to have coming out here is the Masters next week. So this is the last tournament to get them boys ready to go for the Masters. To me, that means that probably not see so many of the big dogs, right? The big guns. Haven't seen an official card lineup yet, but usually they'll try to take like that week off coming into it, which means the field will be a little more balanced. It won't just be such a Scotty Scheffler run and gun battle. What else do we have going on here? We've got exciting news. New baseball content will come out starting next Monday. You'll see some new baseball shows coming out here. And involved with our guy Sharpie over at the Odds Bunch doing what we do. We did it last year. Sharpie has brought me in again to give out some hitting props. So I did share 4 RBI plays with our guy Sharpie today. It's early in the season. I don't usually like to start betting the RBIs until around May 1st. But look, I think we've got some opportunity with these new bats here. The torpedo bats to catch the books sleeping. So we're going to start early here and see if we can't continue to run our dominance in the RBI. We were innovators, first ones to put RBI plays out there. Everybody was betting home runs. And the epiphany hit me one morning when I woke up and said, why are we all trying for plus 700s? What's wrong with catching a plus 200? We can catch a lot more of those. The odds of hitting those home runs are like less than 15%. So anyhow, that's the way we get to the window here. Yesterday was a pretty decent day. Got back on the wagon here and getting ready for this week. So lots of good things happening. Of course, the live stream Saturday will pop off again. We'll have going to be a fun Saturday. Stay tuned with the Sports Money Wins account. It's going to ask you guys, going to have a contest. We've got it narrowed down. Shout out to Trisha M. Gave me some of the details on our contest, our first ever March Madness bracket. And it sounds like predominantly there are 3 players still alive here with our March Madness bracket. And William Cox is out if Auburn wins and Houston wins. Then we've got our guy, Two Tones, has a couple different shots to win, and Algus down to looks like the final 3. Situationally depending, but it just kind of looks like that with the points between Houston and Duke being the plays that were set down pre-bracket. So we've got some content out there, some contests for them boys. And we're going to do another one. We're going to have some more merch giveaways for the Saturday stream. There's going to be a lot of great things happening, lots of good action out there. And stay tuned. I'm going to ask you guys to like, repost, and make some predictions. And we will have some duck racing come Saturday. I know you guys love it. It's been a minute since we've had it. So we're going to bring it back and try to give you guys some more chances to get that cash. And we got ourselves a nice card tonight. It's a full card. Matter of fact, we got a ton of hockey, a ton of baseball, a ton of NBA, a ton of college hoops as well. Lots of things happening across the world here. So I did give out to the enhanced members here, the silver and golds. We appreciate you guys that are members and supporting the channel. We are viewer supported. So those that do support us, do give us a little extra. We want to give you a little extra. And that play that was given out was UCF minus 4.5. Now, right before the show, you can catch them boys live at minus 130. So forego those points. They have jumped back in the lead 34-32 against Oregon State. So this line is now minus 5.5. And yeah, there's North Texas. There's 2 things going on. There's the college basketball crown, right? That's the tournament for the top 2 teams in each of their divisions having the opportunity, conferences, to have the opportunity to go out there and play for NIL dollars in Las Vegas. There's also the NIT. So we're going to fire off a game here tonight between Loyola Chicago and Chattanooga. The Mocs are out there. Not sure what a mock does, but whatever they do, they're doing it. They're doing it tonight against Loyola Chicago. Small little dog. And they've been a dog all tournament, so that makes sense. Then we've got some action. We'll go Detroit and St. Louis. We'll go San Jose Sharks and the Anaheim Ducks and the Edmonton Oilers Vegas Golden Knights in the NHL. We'll flip on over to Major League Baseball. I have one ad. We've got Washington and Toronto, the San Francisco Giants and Houston. I'm adding Kansas City in the Brewers game. Going to add some action there. I think I got a nice little we got some late line movement, essentially, that comes into play that makes us confident in that spot. Then we'll fire off Toronto Raptors and the Chicago Bulls, as well as the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets to bring us to a close. Well, and then, of course, Loyola and Chattanooga will finish off this night with a late night college basketball spot. So Lots to get through. Always a struggle here to get it done with you guys before it comes time to get these games tipped off here. But we do have some later action. So later action's a good thing for us. That gives us plenty of time. Of course, hey, that Mets-Marlins game, the under 8. Shout out to our guy, Matty Ice. He debuted on Sports Money here on Sunday for that college basketball show. That seemed like some good feedback. Seemed like a lot of you guys enjoyed that little last-minute Sunday soiree. And Matty Ice, I saw him posted out there today, the Mets and Marlins, and he's looking at the under. So that was kind of the way I started off that parlay. I'll borrow from our friend Matty Ice. You know, he does it well in the major leagues. But then, yeah, our baseball action, we've got a 7:07 start with the Nationals in Toronto. So we got plenty of time to get this stuff going. Before we do anything, though, you guys know I said this earlier, viewer supported. It's ultra important. We love the support that you guys give us here, the memberships, the gifting, the donos. But the most important thing you can do is smash that thumbs up button. Helps us grow the channel, helps continue to promote us across YouTube. And we want to draw new eyeballs, right? We want to continue to grow this community. You guys have done such a great job with your bets, liking, retweeting, comments. I want to shout out Kelly V. She's got almost 600 comments on the videos that we have posted on Sports Money. We love it. Keep it coming. Keep it rolling. But the thumbs up button doesn't cost you anything. It only takes you a second. And now's the time to go smack that thing. Close the chat. Hit the thumbs up. Pop the chat back open. And we'll get going. Okay. Let's roll on through the chat. Our guy, Joe T, is the number one commenter again here tonight. He had himself a night last night. I believe he went 3-1. I know he got his play of the day out there. 3-1 for plus 1.9 units, and he's got a play of the day today with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Yankees over 8.5. I like that one a lot. I know the wind is blowing out to that short porch, and that should create some opportunity. Kind of a weird line, though, isn't it? The Yankees, Willie Warren, Corbin Burns, they're even money. In fact, you can get them at plus 102s now on that Yankee spot. But I like that over 8.5. I think that's a good look from Jover. He's also giving the Royals and the Brewers over 8.5. We'll be talking about that game. Little Lorenzen versus Chad Patrick. Who? We'll talk about that one here. He's got the over 8.5. The Rangers and the Reds. He likes the over in that game as well. Little over for Jover. Red Rover. Jover ain't never met an over. He doesn't want to try to put some cash on here, but he's giving you his best bets here this evening. And he's fine. He's also got some NHL. Sabres Senators, huh? First period over 1.5. The Lightning and the Islanders over 6. Man, if you didn't believe in the teams that are just rolling over to die at this point, take a look at that Nashville Flyers game. You know, you see Stamkos has the opportunity to try to score, and what's he do? He lays off. He's tanking. The Flyers should be tanking. It's ridiculous to see him out there continuing to try to find wins. We have another spot of tankers here tonight. The San Jose Sharks and the Anaheim Ducks. So we're going to try to tackle that thing with what I think is a nice little trend to support our cause. Gerald Jones coming in here. He's 28-18 with his best bets. He likes the Suns and Bucks, excuse me. Giannis should be playing tonight. He likes the over 224.5. Sorry, Gerald. Phoenix and Milwaukee over 224.5 for our guy, Gerald Jones. Chris Comentini's back. He says he's going right back with Ohtani again tonight. The numbers for Ohtani are definitely a lot more attractive. And that has a lot to do with the fact that Chris Sale is on the bump. Dinger Tuesday. You guys want to hear my Dinger Tuesday list here? I'll fire it off at you real quick. Let's go here. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, play around. You know, get involved with the hitting props. Why not take a stab at some of these guys to figure out how to get us to victory lane? Let me see. Jazz Chisholm was my lone home run spot over there on FanDuel, catching the boost to make it plus 750. I like the over in that game. What the hell? I gave out Cody Bellinger on the Sharpie show earlier today. I think there are runs in that game. I think that's a rather nice look. 9 Legacy. You got your parlay, my friend. Post that back in the chat with me for the odds so I can write that down. Saves me this effort of having to go back and watch the show again. Old E says, great breakdowns earlier with Sharpie. Appreciate you, man. Keep up the content. Let's go. Yeah, it was fun. Sharpie's got a revised schedule, but he still asked me to come back and be involved with the Tuesday hitting special. And I love Tuesdays. It's a full card. It's Dinger Tuesday. We're going to feather in some of these double props, as I mentioned. And I wrote it down. I can't remember offhand who I had for the double, but I know it was plus 440. I know it was plus 4. It was a big number to get a double today. Like I said, I wrote it down. I'll have to go back and check it out. Vinakut says, what do you think about the Diamondbacks money line, Mikey? I like you guys asking here. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a weird number, isn't it? And it's coming down even more. It was plus 102 when I started talking about it. It's plus 105 now. So even more late action coming in on the Diamondbacks. I think it's a trappy Yankee spot. Problem is, Yankees are fired. You want to get in the way of that right now? They already got a casualty. They already got a casualty on their hitting lineup here, but 3-0 at home, 2-2 Diamondbacks having to travel all the way across the country after a 2-2 spot against the Cubbies. So that tells me they can match fire with fire to some degree. They had a 10-6 win and an 8-1 win. When they were out there hot, they were hot. I think it's probably not a bad Diamondbacks look tonight. Vila Coots. Bobby Mack, Robert McCormick's in the house. AOD rocking with us. William Cox says, I'm here. You're here, my friend. You got a shot. You got a shot to win the first ever Sports Money March Madness bracket. Dana Delp says, sup, guys? Nicholas Handy's in the house. J-Main. Diamondbacks team total over 4.5. There's some great trends for you guys. Warren games last year, 5+ runs, 5 out of 6 games. Diamondbacks, 3 out of 4. 5 runs this year. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, that one game they lost 10-6. And then they fired it off with a 10-6. So yeah, they're certainly they're not afraid to run and gun. Hope the volume's okay here. I made a quick adjustment on the old microphone because frankly, it's too expensive for it to sound as shitty as it does. So if anybody can give me some feedback, am I too loud? Am I too soft? I'm certainly not soft, but am I too quiet? Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks. Peter Gracia says, sweep in the book. You the man. Let's go. Let's go. Love the Yankees over. Ride the wave, says Peter Gracia. Our friends here rocking with us. Terry Davis says, Davis Warren has been a bum. So the Diamondbacks first 5's on his card. Look at you guys, man. I love it. I love you guys coming in ready to go. Thank you guys for the feedback. I appreciate that. Sounds echoey sometimes. And after all this time, the volume button isn't the volume button. Surprisingly. Why would you call it the volume button if it's not the volume button? It doesn't make any sense to me, but so is the world of audio video. Excited, though, to be here with you guys. We're ready to go. We got a bunch of action to get to, so let's stop the butt rubbing and let's get to this money. We'll pop off in the NHL. We do it a little different. If you guys are new here, we don't spend a lot of time necessarily looking at cash flow. I'll read it off every so often, but cash flow doesn't typically involve my card. This is a tricky time of year for the NHL. Yeah, we got teams tanking. Yeah, we got teams trying to push for playoffs. Yeah, we got teams in the wild card position trying to move forward. It's real tough. It's a real tough one. I'll tell you the one that's the most difficult for me here today was looking at the Kings. I mean, the Kings, I know it's the last game on the card, so it's kind of weird to start this spot here, but up until the show, there was some buying in on the Jets. Now this buying is coming back in on the Kings. So we'll see. I do believe that I'll have a 2 or 3 pack to release later tonight. If you guys are wondering how to get up there and become a silver and gold member, this is probably the most cost-effective spot in the business. And it comes from just you guys asking for more plays. I know you guys DM and reach out to all of us here from time to time asking our thoughts. We're happy to give them to you guys. But this just kind of makes it an easy way for us to put it out there so everybody can get it. If you reach out to myself and you ask me about a particular game and I share it with you, that means everybody else misses. So literally, silver and gold members, we have the enhanced membership package. It's an extra $5. That covers you for 30 days. What's that, like 18 cents a day? Can it even be 18? No, it can't be 18 cents a day. I'm not sharp with the math here today. I've been looking at numbers all day, but a real cheap and inexpensive way, I should say, to try to help get some of these later. But sometimes it's a little gun shy to give out plays for all these late games here. If they're barring an injury or a goaltending change or some type of a snafu in pitching. Look at Freddie Freeman, has a surgically repaired ankle, slips in the shower, hurts his ankle again. Now, some of that's going to affect people that are potentially looking to bet on the Dodgers. So we want to get all that information captured and share it with you guys. But that being said, we'll start off here tonight. Look, they got a boost, an Ovechkin points boost. Problem is, Ovechkin started the day off at plus 100. He's now plus 115 to score a goal on DraftKings. So there's movement against him. Maybe two reasons why that might be the case. One, that would suggest he's not going to do it, clearly. Ryan Leonard is this young man's name. He just got signed. He will start today, and he is the second most goal-scoring bet prop on the NHL card. Ryan Leonard for the Washington Capitals. So I parlayed together the Capitals to win, Swayman to have over 21.5 shots, Ovechkin to score a goal, and Leonard to score a goal. And with the DraftKings boost, it was like 40-1. But I did use the OV boost prop on 2+. I told you guys the other day, OV 2+ for me. The one at plus 100 or plus 115, that's fine. You know, he was minus 120 the other day. I think he got it. But 2+ is almost plus 900. So if he's going to get it, it's going to be in bunches, in my estimation. He did only have one the other day in a score fest. But it's the Boston Bruins, and it's Jeremy Swayman. So that's my 2 cents on that. The Columbus Blue Jackets here and the Nashville Predators, I don't know how you can want to get involved in the Columbus Blue Jackets. I know they're still kind of technically alive, and yeah, we saw the Predators are in tankathon, but minus 200 for the Blue Jackets. And if you're looking at the over, you know, we know Columbus and the overs have been a killer. But you might get killed on that one today here. This line's gone from 6.5 to 5.5. So yeah, there's a lot of cash coming in on the over in that one. So yeah, I'm not going to get involved there. Senators and Sabres, Jover gave us the overs in that one. But let's talk, Tampa Bay and the Islanders. I think I'd fire on Tampa Bay minus 1.5. Just some thoughts out loud with you guys. Why not? Why can't I share some thoughts with you guys as we look to get after this action here? But the game that we're going to talk about here, the game we're going to tackle, the Red Wings and the Blues will pop off at 8 p.m. As I mentioned, a lot of later starts today. So we have some time. And when we look at this game here, what do we know? Well, we know the wedge of expected goals against actual goals being scored for the Detroit Red Wings is one of the best and worst in the league, meaning they're probably performing at one of the worst rates in the league right now. And the St. Louis Blues have been so hot. Detroit will run Cam Talbot out there, unconfirmed, but first guy off the ice. Back in the Reds. He is 18-17-3 with a 2.94 goals against average and a 90% save percentage. We're back in St. Louis. I suspect this is the home of the under. And the Blues are on a 9-game winning streak. Their best guy, Jordan Binnington, a former Vezina Trophy winner, will start at 25-21-4, 2.7 goals against average, a 90.1% save percentage, and it was the Colorado Avalanche. Remember we talked about this yesterday. The Avalanche were on that hell of a winning streak, and they ran into St. Louis, and St. Louis shut them down because Binnington stood on his head. He made 28 saves on 29 shots. They won the game 2-1. Lower scoring battle. He's 8-2 with a 2.21 goals against average and a 91% save percentage since the month of March. Firing. The Red Wings have lost 4 of their last 6. They are sitting there at 2-4. You know, and ultimately, I think that's kind of where this thing really stops. We can add some numbers and get behind it here as well, but the Red Wings are still a few points out of the playoffs. They're not completely done yet, but the Blues are the ones that can shut them down. If the Blues go out there and catch this game, it might all but effectively shut down the Red Wings this season. So playoffs on the line. As I mentioned, winning 9-10 here, the hot team, the goalie's been hot. All the things are happening. And on top of that, 42 goals in their last 10 games. So despite St. Louis being an under haven, 4.2 goals a game over their last 10. And Binnington has allowed just 18 goals over that stretch, 1.8 goals. No need to get super cute with this thing. I did take him in regulation. I do believe that this is one of those spots where we talk about not wanting to give your opponent a point. You certainly don't want to go out there and try to face him in overtime. And even if you win, you're only gaining 1 point. This is beat them up early, get the hell out of Dodge. You're scoring, they're not. Your goaltender's hot. We're going to ride with this St. Louis regulation play. It was minus 105 when I grabbed it earlier today. Currently, it is sitting at, let's see, minus 110. So some action coming in here on the St. Louis Blues for an 8 p.m. start. Take note. I'm sure curious what you guys think about that. Stirring company like St. Louis and Tampa parlay. He likes the Vegas puck line. Dude, I hammered that Penn State game the other day. I might drop some Frozen 4 looks. I've been betting on it. I think I'm 4-1. Was that Sunday live where it was Penn State at -130, their first trip to the Frozen 4? Yeah, I might get involved with that. Tarek B's got the Diamondbacks first 5 as well. Likes the Mets game over, Washington first 5, Reds team total over, Detroit first 5, a Nerfy in the Mariners parlayed with the under in the A's. Dana Delp likes the Ebaldi over 5.5 Ks. Here we go. $5 for all winners. Why wouldn't you? Let's grow this membership. Thank you, Dana Delp. I appreciate you giving us a kind endorsement. Hey, we're giving you guys the best effort we can. Shout out Jerry Davis. Shout out to Nasty Nate. It says, hit the like or you swim with a shirt on. Who wants to do that? There we go. 9 Legacy's giving us that parlay plus 730 on Bet365. If you guys missed it at the start of the show, go back. 9 Legacy, would you mind putting those teams in there for us as well? I'm going to tail that. I'm running out of time to tail that. All right. Let's go on to this game here because this is Tankathon. This is truly, I know there's a site out there. You got 2 teams here. The bottom of the bottom feeders. Oof, try saying that 6 times fast. Alexander Gorgiev will start for the San Jose Sharks. Lucas Dostal will start for the Anaheim Ducks. Sharks have been outscored 14-2 in their last 2 games. They're going to Gorgiev. He allowed 6 goals on 33 shots. Think about what I said when it came to that Nashville spot. They're playing the Flyers, and they're basically both fighting for bottom seeds placement. They're playing for ping pong balls now. They're going to do a lottery draft system to see who gets the top pick. And Nashville takes their foot off the gas, doesn't score with one of their best goal scorers out there because they just want to give the points. They want to get their intent. You got a team that can't score in the Sharks. They're getting outscored. Now, their goalie, we'll see what he can do out there. The Ducks have won 2 of their last 4. I'm sorry, 4 of their last 6. Whoops, it's kind of a little bit of a difference. Kind of a little bit. They did lose 3-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tough. I mean, look. Dostal has been playing well. 2-0. He's got a shutout and 57 of 58 saves in his last 2 starts. Sharks just got thumped by the Kings. That's that Kings team that we just talked about. They busted them up 8-1. That game was looking under. And then I think the Kings went out there and put in like 4 goals in no time. So that being said, I kind of thought like the best way to approach this game here is let's take a look at some trends. They are our friends. And what do we have when the Pacific Division plays each other on a 6.5? Couldn't be any easier. Pacific Division plays each other, the total 6.5. They go under. Out of the last 18 times they have faced each other, it is 4-14 to the under, and it's going under by a goal. So that being said, and as long as Gorgiev can do something to keep away from 8 pucks sliding behind him, we're seeing the Sharks struggling to score. It all fits together for me. Neither one of these teams should want to do anything aggressive to try to go out there and, somebody goes up 2-0. I don't think we're going to see much of the other team trying to fight back. Why would they? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, the Sharks are all young. Both these teams are young teams at this point. So lack of experience. Guys going on vacation, are they likely to try to step in front and block shots? Probably not. But they're also not apt to go into the corner when the other team has got 2 guys out there trying to clear the puck out. Both teams play it safe. No one wants to go out there and win this game. Give it to the boys here. We'll take the under 6.5. There is some late steam coming in on this as well. It's also part of the respected Sharp betting analysis today. The Sharps like the under 6.5 because 2 Pacific Division teams play each other. They go under. So we'll roll that game in there. We'll go on to game number 3. The Oilers and the Knights. Injury updates here. We do have Draisaitl back. Leon Draisaitl is back for the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid should still be out of this lineup. Both goalies are confirmed. It's Calvin Pickard versus Aiden Hill. Pickard, not Skinner. Skinner got hurt. Got a little boo-boo on his brain. 18-8, though, is Pickard. Not throwaway. However, look. Pickard played like shit. He's 18-8 on the season. He's got a 2.68 goals against average. 90%. They got busted up by the Kraken. He got busted up. He allowed 5 goals on 29 shots. They sent him back out there against another playoff potential team. He went 26 of 28 against the Calgary Flames. So he bounced back. Not entirely sure what we're going to see out of these two guys, particularly. The Golden Knights, though, riding a 6-game winning streak. Now, everybody and their brother, their mother, their sister, their cousin, their dogs, their cats, their rats, whoever else, I don't know what some of you guys collect out there, snakes, whatever it is that floats your fancy. Even the snakes are saying take -1.5 here because it's 18 straight when the Vegas Golden Knights win at home that they cover the puck line. Aiden Hill on the other side of things here with a 29-11 record, 2.46 goals against average, a 90.9% save percentage, and a Vegas team that's running hot. Do you take the puck line? I'm not taking the puck line. I got it. It's 2 tough teams, though. They should battle. It's probably going to be a lower scoring game here. I mean, look, you got a 2.46 goaltender in Aiden Hill. He does have a 2.0 goals against average here since the beginning of March with 2 shutouts under his belt for an 8-1-1 record. Probably going to be difficult to see the score get lit up here on the Edmonton side, given the circumstances. I mean, look, they did come off. They got 3 goals in their last 2 games. They're certainly not finding the back of the twine. Just kind of one of those situations where it feels too easy to jump in here and take the Edmonton Oilers on the puck line. I'm sorry, taking the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line. I'm going to go with regulation. It was an even money play for me to get. Now, I'll say this. You know, we do have the soft factor. When you played a game and you had less than 18 hits against a good team, that was the Calgary Flames, and you gave the puck away a shitload of times the last time you played this team, you don't match up. You're 1-12 on the puck line. It's 1-12 straight up. You're 2-11 on the puck line. You are losing by about 2.1 goals per game. This just has a sneaky 3-2 finish. I wouldn't even be surprised to see overtime come into the equation here. I don't think Vegas is really contending with Edmonton for any playoff potential here. I do know this, though. If Vegas is going to be motivated, tonight's the night. They can clinch a playoff spot with a win. So I expect them to get the win. I do think it's going to be a cagey little finish out there towards the end here, and I'm going to take Vegas in regulation. It's even money. I'm not mad at anybody that wants to go for the big score. Get your money. You got to make your own decisions here, but at even money for the regulation play, if it does happen to be one of those 3-2, maybe Edmonton does try to fight. Maybe it's 3-1 going into the third period, and we don't want to see teams with 2-goal leads in the third period. They get sloppy. They park the bus, and that's where the other team pulls their goalie, finds an extra chance to score. Maybe the refs make a stupid call, and that's how you do it. Speaking of that's how you do it, shout out to Peter Gracia. He's giving a $9.99 super sticker, my man. Peter, appreciate you. He says, helping keep the lights on. Cheers to you, my brother. Well, you just made this a cocktail in the evening for me. Going to shoot some videos and going to cheers you, my friend. Thank you so much for always being around here. Positive vibes from my dude, Peter Gracia. Man, he even checks in when he's working. He even checks in from work. Appreciate you, dude, so much. Appreciate that. Means a ton. You're busting our action. Just at the right time as we finish the NHL card here. My man. Respect. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. That means a ton. I keep saying I got to do the button. You know what I keep trying to find? Here's my problem with the button. Can't really find a good donation video. You know, I'm going to have to build something. Maybe I get a voiceover in there. But shout out to you, Peter Gracia. You the man. Respect and appreciate you, my friend. And always being here. That means the most. So I know you're a thumbs up guy. I heard Ramon saying earlier today, he's like, I always forget to hit the thumbs up button. Nothing like a reminder, but Pete, I know you're one of them like a thumbs up button guys. Boys, let's get into the NHL. Boys and girls, excuse me. Let's roll into Major League Baseball. Let's talk about some baseball action here. We talked about the torpedo bats. I mentioned that again today. I saw a funny meme on Twitter today about the torpedo bats. And it was like your girlfriend when she says size doesn't matter. And it's you holding the skinny bat, and then there's the torpedo bat. That thing is big at the end. It's an attitude adjuster for sure. Look, as we start this thing off here, great day for Dinger Tuesday. Still a little chilly. I did roll what did I do here? Let me quick fire this to you guys too. In case I know some of you guys want to hear some of the other props that I'm invested in. Boy, UCF turned it up at halftime, huh? 45-36. Let's go. want you guys to get that winner with me here. All right. Here's one. This is cheesy. I just went with the torpedo bats. I know everyone's kind of doing it now, but everybody's doing it. Going streaking. Nico Horner, Cody Bellinger, Yandy Diaz, and Ernie Clement are my 4 home run parlays here. Look, $3 to win 40K. I got $3 to piss around. The fuck? You don't want to miss out on that. Nico Horner, Cody Bellinger, Yandy Diaz, and Ernie Clement, $3 to win 40K. Just being real with you guys here. I'm not going to go throw $100 on that. Although, well, that would probably be a good way for me to get tossed off at DraftKings, I would imagine. But I'll share that with you guys. Peter Grassi is inspired. You can thank Peter. We catch a couple of those spots out there. Let's go. Let's go. What do we got? What do we got, you guys here? Oldie says, cheers, Peter Grassi. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for supporting our guy, Peter. Trisha M, shouting out Peter. Textile says, like Mike. Appreciate you guys, man. Trisha M says, that's sports money. Any thought on Mikkola game-ending fight in Ice Cats game? Rematch tonight. I don't think so. I don't think they fight tonight. That's a great question. Can you bet on that? I don't think so. I don't see them fighting. Not tonight. It's a rematch spot for the Panthers. The Ice Cats need their dubs. Wish it was Thursday because we'd be on the under. Jay Stone says the first month of baseball in the cold weather. Singles rule the prop world. I don't disagree with that either. All right, the Nationals and the Blue Jays pop off here with a line movement to the Blue Jays. 90% of the bets and 83% of the cash are coming in on the Blue Jays. And if you're new here, this is what I talk about. We're looking at the bets, the money, and the reaction from the books. Typically, the percentage of bets, we associate that with just all the tickets being written. It's kind of this. It's everything that goes into the soup, right? It's props, parlays, teasers, rollovers, progressives, single tickets, small bettors, big bettors. Like 90% of the money, typically public money, coming in here on the Blue Jays. 83% of the cash, though, meaning that there are some bigger bettors. Typically, we look at the percentage of money. We kind of look at that as some of the sharper bettors. Not necessarily sharper, just bigger bettors. Typically, bigger bettors I associate with sharper bettors, although I know that's not necessarily true. But I'll tell you this, April 1st in Major League Baseball, you're a sharper bettor if you're coming in here. Now, sharper bettors will also be known to take the prices. And this line's moved from plus 122 to plus 140 on the Nationals money line. The total's gone from nothing, from 8.5 to 8.5. And you got 99% of the bets and 99% of the cash on this over. And yet we have no movement. So peeling the onion back here, what we have is Trevor Williams. He'll make his first start of the season. Jose Berrios, disgusting previous performance. What did he get? 5 strikeouts, I think. 5 Ks. Lost the game. He's got a 10.8 ERA. So for anybody that was thinking Berrios was going to start the season off hot, that was a not. Sorry, that was a not for anybody that was involved on the Berrios side of things here. And then Gausman didn't do much better himself. I believe that game was 12-2. Toronto lost to Baltimore. And the Nationals, they're not world beaters by any stretch right now. They did pick up their last game of the closeout series. Tough to sweep a team in baseball. They did pick up that last game of the Philly series 5-1. They rolled in last night. They took a loss 5-2 to Toronto here. And the way that I chose to attack this game, frankly, just comes down to I don't believe in Berrios yet. He'll have to show it to me. But I also know Williams has himself a little run line record. And it has to do with just previously playing these teams. Now, some of this will age, and we'll have a lot more stronger data as we get second and third time through the rotation and second and third time through playing some of these teams, especially in division. But Williams finds himself 42-13 when they're in the dog roll. He got 3 or more Ks on a team, and he had a walk against them the previous time they played. Now, the problem is the AL East gets a win against the NL East. You fade the NL East the next day. You're 139-82 in those spots. If I could twist your mind any further, I would tell you this. Interleague game 2s. Game number 2. So think about it. Game number 1 is kind of the travel day, right? 5-2 yesterday. It goes under. A lot of people like the over in that spot there, but they get into town. They settle into their hotel. They get the first game out of the way. They can adjust to the hitting fields. We know that the porch is somewhat short there in Toronto. Interleague game 2 overs are 25-1. So the way I put all that jumble together to me said, I got to get involved here with the Nationals. I got them in the first 5. I took them +0.5 on the run line. Either it be a tie, it's got to be a tie game, or the Nationals are up and we're still seeing Berrios struggle. I think this is just a play on the lack of confidence potentially that Berrios has. And we got a clean slate coming into this thing with the Washington Nationals. I think that we do see runs. I do expect this now to be settled in and we see the ball flying across the yard. But +0.5 at -115 just felt like, hey, we get a 2-2 game or a 1-1. Even the Nationals are up 2-1. Toronto can win the full game. Fine. Go ahead. I think the Nationals want to exact a little bit of revenge. They know they got to pick up some wins. This is definitely one of the weaker teams in the AL East to start the season off in Toronto. So I'll take them on the first 5. That should say first 5. I'm sorry. It doesn't say first 5. Let me adjust that just so I don't throw everybody off. First 5 +0.5. That'll probably be one of our first. Well, I gave out the Cleveland first 5 the other day. But I'm going to play on this run line factor. Now, again, full game suggests that it's a 1-game run or a 1-run game and that Toronto wins this game, which means maybe when the bullpen comes out, Toronto can explode on them boys. And, probably Vladdy Guerrero gets himself back into the home run column out there. I know he's a pretty popular guy to knock the ball yard today. He did get did kind of loosen things up a little bit the other night there by way of, getting an RBI. But I'm involved. No, it's a weird spot for me though, because I do like Jose Berrios to get the strikeouts. When I was talking with Sharpie earlier, he was kind of saying, hey, maybe the dude ends up going 6 or 7 innings. And somehow masses those strikeouts here the second and third time through the order. But I'm just going to take the Nationals. I'm going to keep it short, sweet. Take the Nationals +0.5 for the first 5. Win or lose the game, doesn't matter to me. Just get me in and out of this damn thing. And on we go. Philly Eagle Flyer. So looking at tomorrow's baseball card, I believe it's going to be a big day for the tied after second inning. I can't wait for the tied after second innings to come out again, my friend. Jerry Davis says Berrios struggles against lefties. He likes Williams. There we go. Timmy Two Shoes likes Manny Machado tonight. He's using the cork bat, or not the cork bat, the torpedo bat. Not a bad spot. Not a bad spot, for sure. All right. Let's go. Like I said, I added a game in the Major League Baseball card. And it's 7:40 p.m. start, so we might as well talk about it right now. The Brewers and the Royals will pop off at 7:40 p.m. here in Milwaukee, Algonquin, for the good land. The Royals, of course, busted up the Brewers yesterday. Free money. Gave that one out to the enhanced members. Appreciate you guys that did take the time to upgrade. If you're questioning how to upgrade, at the bottom of the comments there, you'll see a little $sign. You hit that $sign. If you're already a bronze member, it's going to cost you an extra $5 to become a silver. Reason we did that, by the way, we get gifted like 150 to 200 bronze memberships throughout the month. So a lot of freebie bronze memberships coming out there. So if you got a freebie, it's just going to cost you $5 to upgrade that membership and jump in on some of these free plays like the Royals yesterday. This line started at -120, really hasn't moved, but the interesting movement here is that we have 61% of the bets and 60% of the cash coming in on the Royals. The road dog has not moved. The total's at 8.5, 99% of the bets, 98% of the cash. It's kind of come down a little. I'm doing it. I'm taking the Brewers. I know I shit on them yesterday, and I broke Joe's balls about it on top of that, saying this team's just struggling here, but they got thumped yesterday, 11-1. The challenge that I have here with this team is I want the full game. The reason I looked at the first 5, just so we're all on the same page, and I'll talk about that in a second. But when your bats are struggling and you got a guy like Melendez that's your number 1 hitter, I'm a little apprehensive about throwing you out there just to do it all in the first 5. You're trying to really catch lightning in a bottle with a team that's struggling to all of a sudden pick it up in the first 5 and take advantage of a guy in Lorenzen. Now, I can understand why they would take advantage of a guy in Lorenzen. Part of the reason behind that is, last year was his best year, arguably, 3.31 ERA, but his expected earned runs was 4.59. His FIP was 4.89. And the previous years, this guy was a 4.0 ERA, each of his last 4 seasons. So you smash all of those together, and it's like, hey, this guy just came off of the horseshoe in his ass season. Maybe I won't use that one again. Yeah, this Milwaukee team probably should be able to come out there and figure this thing out. Now, at the same time, look, the Brewers did win the NL Central, and they're struggling. Now, they're also struggling, and they're running out there a AAA phenom in this Chad Patrick guy. When I teased in the onset, said, who's this guy? He'll make his first major league start. He did have a relief game over the weekend, so he's not coming in truly cold. I mean, he's cold, but you know what I mean. And this dude in AAA last year, he got the league's triple crown, 2.9 ERA, 14 wins, 145 strikeouts. I'm banking on them to be able to get this guy. Now, that's why I said I like the first 5. I like that aspect of there's not a lot of tape on this guy other than AAA tape. But 2 things, as I mentioned, concern me. 1, what if he does have the jitters in the first inning, he pukes up 3 runs, and then because the bats finally catch life in the bottom half of this game, they end up winning the game 4-3 and come back. Sucks. That kid's he's not going to take an L, but he's not going to take a W. And we're going to take the L because we try to segment this thing here with a team that just doesn't have the bats connecting yet. I would be more inclined for the Yankees first 5 with a nice plus money price tag with their inexperience because they've got the bats in play. This is just a kind of case of the opposite. We're going to take this new pitcher. We're going to see if he can't go out there and shove a little bit. He doesn't have to do it all himself. We're going to need a couple of runs. You can't win a game if you can't score a run. That is the old adage here. Hoskins. I do like Hoskins to catch himself an RBI tonight. He's another guy using the old torpedo bats. And he's priced at plus 160. Priced at 160 to catch an RBI tonight. So I'll add him as an official play. What the fuck? What are we doing here? Not here just to give a bunch of leans. We're not leaning on a post. Giving out plays. I'm going to take Hoskins. I'll take him at plus 160 to catch an RBI tonight in this game as well. I'd rather go with Hoskins to catch an RBI and the Brewers to win the game than double down on the Brewers winning the game outright, because at least I can still end up some plus money at the end. If that takes you into the mindset of how I'm trying to factor this thing in. Okay. Let's go to this last game here. There was no graphic for that one because I added it, but the Brewers are minus 120. I think that's a fair price tag. And the last game we're going to go to is this Giants and Astros game. We got this line opened up at minus 108. It's steaming to the Giants. Lots of cash coming in. 66% of the bets, 67% of the cash. But this line has moved almost 30 full cents, 26 cents in favor of the Giants. In other words, they're thinking the Astros don't have what it takes. With Wisniewski making his first start of the season, Logan Webb, on the other hand, didn't have his best start of the season. He kind of got beat up a little bit with a 5.4 ERA. And, we talked about this yesterday. The non-divisional games for the Houston Astros, especially at home, roll under. Now, this one snuck us yesterday. It was 7-2. We got clipped. I believe it was the 7th or 8th inning. They snuck over. It was because the bases got loaded, and they shut everybody down after that. So the bullpen came in, and everything kind of did its job. I'm not going to move off that. I'm not going to ride away from this under just because of one bad beat, if you will. In fact, if you look at Houston, and I mentioned their non-divisional unders, especially if it comes off an over, Houston non-divisional unders are a thing. We talked about it yesterday, but if they come off and over against non-divisional teams, they fire back to the under 29, 13, and 2. So we just missed it yesterday. I thought it was the right read. It lost. No, not one of those guys that say, I'd play it again. It was the right call. No, it lost. If I knew what I knew then what I knew now, I wouldn't fucking play it again. But how about Logan Webb? This dude's in prime bounce back position after that 5.4 ERA. He's got a 32-12 under record over a 44-game sample. And home dogs in Major League Baseball run 7-3 to the under as well. We're going to roll back in. We're going to take the Houston Astros. We're going to take the under 8 in that spot out there. And low juice, minus 102 on the juice scale. Keeps a little bit of that money in our pockets here for an ROI perspective, assuming we can come in with the lead. Now, some would say, what about the first 5? I don't know what Wisniewski does. And keep in mind what I said about that game yesterday. After they puked those runs up in the 7th inning, they shut him down again after that. And it was just a couple of bad pitches that got away and the bases got loaded and a couple of runs went on the board. Just so happened it was at the same time as that other game, and we lost both unders with essentially 30 seconds apart from each other. I think Wisniewski can deal here. I think he can at least catch 4.5 Ks, and you can catch his Ks at plus money as well. But I'm going to go with the full game under 8, minus 102. Going to roll into the NBA. We'll finish her off with college hoops. We'll put a bow on the show and get you guys up out of here to do what we do, and that's enjoy the evening, maybe have a couple cocktails, get ready for some of these videos we're going to put together for you guys, and try to make this money. I'll move quickly here for the NBA. So yesterday we caught the over. I'll tell you this, the most public bet spot here, well, I shouldn't say the most public bet. Here's what's fucked up. The Sixers plus 13.5. This wouldn't surprise me if this is a wrong team favorite situation. I'm not playing it, and I'm not suggesting you do as well, but it's plus 750. These numbers are weird. 80% of the bets and 75% of the cash are coming in on the Knicks. On the Knicks. The line's gone from 14 to 13.5. And then BetMGM releases that the biggest bet game they have today, dollars and cents wise, coming in on the Sixers plus 13.5. I don't know what you do with that. Take the Sixers plus 13.5, I guess. Watch them fuck around and win this game outright. Would you be surprised? Or win this game outright? Wrong team favorite record's been running high. It's not an official play. I'm just sharing some thoughts I have on it. I also think you got to fire on the Hawks. This Hawks line went from 6 down to 5. Well, it started at 6.5. It went to 6. It went down to 5. It's come back. They're getting some late buy-in here for 7.30. 87% of the bets and 87% of the cash are smacking the Hawks. It went from 5 back to 5.5. The Blazers, we know what they do. They've been struggling, though. I don't want to get involved in that game. The total's gone up a tick to the over. There's that Suns and Bucks game, the aforementioned. 68% of the bet, 71% of the cash coming in on the Bucks. It's gone down 0.5 point from 6.5s to 6s. So suggesting that the road dog might bark in this one. The total's gone up 5 full points from 220.5 to 225.5. Probably part of that's because of the Giannis news. Oh, if these birds think they're going to post up outside my office window this summer, they are wrong. You guys remember all that chirping last year? It's like, whose birds are chirping? My fucking birds in the bush. The Magic and the Spurs, lowest total on the card by far. 218.5's gone all the way down to 216.5, but you have 77% of the bets and 77% of the cash. I believe, let me double check this. Just giving you guys a quick rundown on a couple of these games. Just some feedback I have if you're thinking about, even that if you're thinking about live betting some of these spots here. No. Nope. I like the over in that Magic Spurs game. Just seems messed up. This line has moved a tick. It was sitting at 4 all day with all the money coming in on the Magic. It has finally moved. They've finally shown a little concern. The Grizzlies and the Warriors. I'll tell you this line opened at 2.5. It's gone to 4. When it saw 5, it started catching respected sharp betting. It did trigger the sharp betting report. It's back to 4s. And I think it was only at 5 and like 1 or 2 books for like a cup of coffee at best. The over's gone from 237.5 to 240.5. So 3 full points of movement to the over. The Grizzlies stink. We talked about them firing their coach the other day. They couldn't get the cover there again with 4 points the other night. I can't get involved there. Raptors and Bulls, 8 p.m. This line opened at plus 1 at 5.5. It is swayed. It is fully flipped from plus 5.5 to minus 1.5. I guess you got to shop around to see what these books say. 69% of the bets and 65% of the cash have come in on the Bulls. The Raptors did make the sharp, respected betting report. The most sharp action from respected bettors in the NBA has come in on the Toronto Raptors at plus 5. This total's gone down from 239.5 to 237.5. And yet we have 85% of the bets and 84% of the cash on this over. And we don't need to spare any expense here. Let's just talk about it. I'm jumping in. The Bulls, and I'm going in on this under. To me, we got the over yesterday. We saw what this Bulls team did the other day against this against that Lakers squad there to get that late cover that got us a strike on YouTube. What is what it is. Who cares? I shouldn't say that. I mean, I care. I certainly don't want to take a bunch of strikes here, but this one just comes down to kind of one of them trend reports there. Playing a team against the same conference when the Bulls play against the same conference and the last matchup went over, the books over correct and they go under. And we're seeing reverse line movement tied into this under. And it's that simple for me. I think this tired team here, you're going to kind of let your guard down. I see why the respected actions coming in on Toronto. These guys have had a couple of big games in a row, this Bulls team. You know, they played the Lakers. Listen to the schedule. Lakers, Denver, Lakers, Dallas, OKC. And the problem is they had 3 straight wins. They played the Lakers. They beat them by 31 points in the Lakers barn. They were 10.5-point dogs. Then they roll at altitude. They fire up Denver, 2.5-point dogs. They bust them up by 10. They come back home for a quick revenge spot. Well, not quick, but a revenge spot for the Lakers. They're 4-point dogs. They thump them again. Well, at some point, you get exhausted. They play Dallas, who's a shitbag team in themselves. They were 3-point favorites at home. They lose by a point. So now you got that mental and physical fatigue setting in, and you take the L. Then they got OKC yesterday on the road. They get thumped, 145-117. It did go over for us. It was an easy over. Now they're coming back home. How much more gas do they have left in the tank? I get entirely why the most sharp perspective betting is coming in on the Raptors. In fact, I can get behind it. The Raptors have covered 4 straight games. Washington, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Philly, shit teams. I think the Bulls are a step above those shit teams. But I do think that they see a little defensive-oriented game. Vucevic should be going. Giddey should be rolling. That's enough. You know, I think RJ Barrett, can RJ Barrett get hot? The thing we know about RJ Barrett is when we need to count on this guy, he fucking rolls over. He's averaging 21.5 points a game, but I don't want to get involved in that tonight. I just think this is an under spot for us. I think they play some defense. You can catch a 237 now. Well, I guess it varies, right? We're seeing 235.5. BetStamp showing me I got 0.8% CLV with my 236. It's gone down to 235.5. Where's that 237? BetMGM. All right, so there's a variety of numbers that are out there. I'm just taking the under. I think this Bulls team's gassed. I think they just because they're gassed. This could be one of them spots where we see the Raptors end up winning this game like 119-85. And you're like, what the hell happened to the Bulls? Where was their offense? They struggled. Well, they're gassed. Just a bunch of men. How much gas they have left in the tank? The Timberwolves and the Nuggets, love the spot. Sharp respected action has taken the over in this game. It's gone from 230.5 to 231.5 to seeing 232s. 87% of the bets and 87% of the cash are on the over. Maybe Karl Anthony Towns. I put money on your fucking rebounds and you decide to sit out. That sucks. Karl Anthony Towns is out, everybody. What did I say? What did I say? Interesting. All right. Anyhow, Timberwolves open up as 2-point dogs. They're 3.5-point dogs now. 60% of the bets, 53% of the cash have come in on the Nuggets. What do we know about this game? This will be the suspension served by Dante DiVincenzo and company. Naz Reid and Dante DiVincenzo will serve their suspension for the melee the other day. Jamal Murray is questionable. So that's the latest on the roster updates here. Of course, the Nuggets at home are ferocious competitors. They did lose to that Bulls team. They fired it back up by thumping the Bucks, and they thumped the Jazz. Now, thumping the Jazz, you don't get any participation awards in that one. They did cover. The Timberwolves have won 3 of their last 4 games as well, and they've been covering. Thing is, we got overs, and more jovers here. I told you guys about this before. The number one, I don't agree with that, KV, entirely. I think tired legs mean you don't go out there and overachieve. Is my estimation in that game. But we'll see. I see the tired legs equals lazy defense. I hear that all the time, too. I get it, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen enough of it to show me that's going to be the case. We'll see. We'll see. I know we'll be DMing each other about that, having some fun, breaking stones. Okay. I told you guys before, the Nuggets, especially at home, are probably the most prolific over team in the NBA. They fire at home. Lots of options here. I would tell you got to take the 56.5, not the 57.5 in the first quarter. That's my thought. 56.5, not 57.5. Why? Because it probably ends at 57. Watch it be a 57. If I call the exact total on that, I should have to play it. But the game itself, I'll go full run. With some of these players out, we see the backups come in and step up. It doesn't go the way we think, right? We see, Dante DiVincenzo's out, Naz Reid's out. How are they going to keep up in this game? Well, the line's still only 3. So they're not suggesting a blowout here with both teams running pretty hot. The Timberwolves have hit 6 straight overs. when they have the rest disadvantage, they're averaging 243 points a game. This total sitting kindly at 231 and a half, 232s, 232 and a halves. I don't see any 233s, but it is on the creep. It's on the creep, and the creep is good enough for me. I was going to double dip this one. Ignatius Pennyfeathers, the 7th, says, I'm getting 237 and a half. 237 and a half on this game? Or are you talking about the Bulls game? Jay Main likes Draymond under 21 and a half points, rebounds, and assists. Not bad look. That's probably because they bust him up and they're playing with restricted minutes. Or they're playing not to get busted up. Right? They're busting them up and they're getting out of it. Bulls game. Okay, I see what he says. Well, we'll see. We'll see if this, either Kelly or I am texting the other ones or messaging the other one saying, see? Kelly knows. It's all good. It's all good. We all have our opinions. We will test them in the lab tonight for sure. Last game on the card, boys and girls. We're going to go to some college hoops. We're going to talk about this Loyola, Illinois, Chattanooga Mocs. The Mocs, as I said, have been dogs every single game they've had. Road trips galore. This line opened at 2.5. It hasn't moved. 57% of the bets and 74% of the cash. Surprisingly, 74% of the bets and 78% of the cash are on the Loyola money line. Why do I look at the money line? Because with 2.5 points there, sometimes we just say, screw it, I'll just take the money line. It hasn't moved. When they corrected the lines after the early limits came off, Chattanooga went from a plus 116 to a plus 126. This total's come down despite 92% of the bets and 89% of the cash coming in on the over. It's gone from 149.5 to 146.5. A 3-point dropper. 3-point dropper here. And look, spot we've been cashing on all year. I don't want to get away from it. Now, the challenge with this game is the ability and inability for 3 points. The inability for 3-point defense from the Mocs. The ability for 3-point offense from the Ramblers are a little scary if you're thinking about some unders. But if you'll recall, this is one of those games that, what do you think? Well, it should be sitting there at Madison Square Garden. It's not. Hinckley Fieldhouse will host the NIT championships here. And the end of the day for me, this is the spot where I wanted to get in on the under. It's an A10 program. We know the unders reign supreme. I expect both teams will have difficulty with their sight lines. Again, they're playing on neutral site, but it's not Madison Square Garden. It's not what they're used to from now. I know that both these teams aren't necessarily used to that situation, but look, Loyola, San Jose State, big win against San Francisco. Got to recognize they were 5.5-point dogs. They beat them up 77-76. They take a couple days off. They thump Kent State 72-62 as 4.5-point favorites. I'm sorry. Yep. On the flip side, the A10 team that they did play in Dayton, Chattanooga, was 87-72. They follow it back up with Bradley. Now as things get tight and as they're moving into better competition, 67-65. That's where they couldn't keep up with the threes. But the other team wasn't able to go out there and bang them either. 67-65 with Bradley. Whoops. She cycled over to the Wi-Fi. That's not good. But this line's come down now. We got some early buy-in from the initial line, moved it up. It's starting to come back. I'm going to buy into this late movement here. I'm going to root for the Chattanooga Mocs. But that's because I need their 3-point defense to step up and shut down this Loyola, Illinois team. We don't want to see Loyola get hot, get comfortable, get confident, and smash me in the back of the head. So that's going to be the deal, you guys. Appreciate everybody out there rocking with us. Kelly V sharing some action. She likes Edmonton plus 140. Calgary plus 155. Road dogs because home teams travel. Let's go, you guys. Appreciate everybody sharing their action. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the Knicks minus 9.5 over 214.5 at plus 130. I hope for you, man. I hope it's not one of them Sixers that are the wrong team situation. But I'll root for all you guys, man. Thank you guys all for coming in here rooting for us here at Sports Money. Busy day, big things happening, lots to start getting ready for as we get towards the weekend. I know it's only Tuesday. Doesn't it help that we fly by, though, when we start talking about Tuesday and looking ahead to the weekend? That's where we have the most fun. You guys know we get the most bang for our buck here, but let's have a big night. Let's get this money. Let's get these W's. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out the door, and I wish you guys all the best of luck with your action. Have a great night. Check out the